Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you find yourself. I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to New York session. It's a Thursday. Days are flying. I thought today was Wednesday. Anyway, so as you can see, the dollar index is moving higher as we anticipated for this week. All the move to the downside was manipulation, and okay. Sorry for that. So yes, as I was saying, I'm expecting dollar index to continue going up to attack the previous week high, and then we will see what will happen. So from this fair value gap here and this down candle, I want to see price rejecting to go and attack that previous week high. If we lose the down candle, then we will come for the low. Okay, so as it stands, we're looking for a run above the high, and with that, I think euro should also go and attack the previous week low. I like the auto block that has been created here. This up candle should hold and send price for the fair value gap on the weekly. So the fair value gap on the weekly low comes in at 1.12640, this one, but make sure you take something off at the 1.2658 level, because maybe once we go below it might reject. So it's very close to each other, so I think they might run both of them. All right, so that is the business for euro. I think this is a good one for a sell. Watch this new London session fair value gap, and then we target that. Okay, and then on British pound we have something similar. Now British pound has actually taken the previous week low out, which was the goal for the week, but it can extend to the fair value gap. All right, so not the highest probability trade, but you can take it if you want to, with the expectation of dollar going lower. You can look for this also as a trade idea to attack the fair value gap. Okay, I got into this overnight right here. Very, very powerful trade, similar to the one I took last week. And what I've noticed is that every single week one of them happens. Okay, last week same thing, Let me go to pound Aussie. Same thing here, right? We drop down on Wednesday, we come back to it on a Thursday, and then we go down. Okay, we come back to the gap that was left on Wednesday. This week it happened on British pound. We gap down on Wednesday, we come back to it on a Thursday, right? So there you go. We can continue going down from there. So if you want to use it, that's entirely up to you. Or if you want to use the euro, that's entirely up to you. So choose wisely. Apart from that, the Australian dollar, I think I gave you this as a range that they might trade back into it. So this low to this high, I expect maybe a move into this area, and then marking the low. These are two levels that you want to anticipate price rejecting from. So it's either we reject here or reject the low. One of them will cause price to resume going up. Based on what is currently happening, the low might be probable because of the equal lows, but I'm not neglecting this gap. All right, so let's see what will happen here. Then another trade idea is the dollar yen. I think we also wanted to see price come up for the previous week high, and everything that happened from Monday to now was manipulation, and then yesterday we started getting the rejection. I think on the one that I said, if not because of the time of the day this formed, I would have looked for a potential buy, right? We moved away from a down candle on the H4. So currently we can use this down candle as a protection and then look for price to come and attack this high. Okay, so let's see. I think maybe this auto block in London or the fair value gap in London will hold and then send price high again. So either this or that. Now price might start moving from 130, so just be patient. If you want to use this, make sure your stop loss is not in here. It needs to be below that candle, or you buy this one. Still aiming for that previous week high. Okay, what else? New Zealand dollar, I think it's similar to the Aussie. Okay, I think this might go for the previous week low because it could not go and make a new high. Yeah, we might come for the previous week low because they've taken out the previous week high and then displaced below this up candle. So it looks, because there's no fair value gap here, the volume imbalance has been traded through, so they might go for the previous week low. But in all, I would say trade the euro and the pound, one of them, okay, for a lower prices to go into the fair value gap on the weekly, because that is the highest probability. currently that's the highest probability that I'm seeing. And gold, I think gold, we also said that they might pull back into here and then resume going up. So that's still the case. Watch this area. Price might trade back to that area and then we resume going up. So use your fib 618 exactly. Stop loss should be below this candle's low because we have another fair value gap over here. So don't put your stop loss anywhere in here. Leave it below this candle's low, and then we look for higher prices again. Crude oil, I think we need to move. Yesterday we broke that, and I said if we break it, we're gonna trade here. We've done that. Now we have a pullback. I would want to see price reject here and then move lower again. I think that happened during the New York session, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so that would be a nice trade as well for a continuation to the downside. So crude oil, I think crude oil is also a good trade for the day. That's another good trade for the day. Okay. ES, beautiful price action. They went for their low as we wanted them to. I did not take any trade on this. Actually, as a matter of fact, I'll probably see if I can get a trade to go and attack this high today. You can see how nice dipped below that low and then immediately rejected. So we are aiming for the previous week high as per the narrative for the weekly framework, right? We open, we drop, and then we rally. And the previous month high is the draw on liquidity. Oops, that's too far away. It's high. That's where price is going. Right, this high into this fair value gap. So we are looking for a continuation to the upside. Today being Thursday, maybe today might be a big candle. So New York session, look for a buy to continue going up. Apart from that, what else? Dollar CAD was also another one that we anticipated them coming for previous week high, and they've done that, right? We looked for the rejection. I think yesterday we spoke about the New York session being traded through here, and price now should go. Again, I did not get any trade on this. I focus only on the British pound. Okay, so I missed out on all of these, but that's fine. The other trade that I'm looking at is the EuroCAD. So watch here, because all of this was all manipulation. So watch here. Initially I got a trade in here, but once we moved, my stop loss came to break even and they've taken it out. Now my other entry is right there, and my stop loss is above the high, and I'm looking for previous week low as a draw on liquidity. So today being Thursday, I think they might form the high of the week inside this gap. So watch for a reversal and then attack these lows. Again, time of the day from 1:30 going, that is when you want them to dip into that reject. You can wait for a confirmation. Okay, You can wait for a confirmation. Now that confirmation can come in the form of a 5-minute bearish order block or a 5-minute break of structure. So this down candle here, once broken, or once they hit it and then close immediately, something like this. It's up to you which one you want to use. So that's a good one to also pay attention to. Okay, now let's move to let me double check. I think there's a news event later today at 1:30. Yes, unemployment claims at 1:30. So we will come back to the currencies at 1:30 and then observe that news event. Let's quickly go to the cryptocurrencies. Okay, so what I was looking for was for them to take out the low and then go higher, but they didn't. If today or this week can close like this, that is a very powerful pattern, especially leaving this gap here. Now I'm gonna explain a little bit. I'm gonna explain a little bit here. The reason why this pattern, okay, is powerful or is very strong is because if they raid, I think I've explained this before, but let me explain again. If we get a candle like this, the protocol is that the next candle needs to come down and take out this low. Okay, that's always the protocol. But the other protocol is that price can go up. Oops. Price can go up and close above it. Now, when it does that, this is a strong bullish pattern. Okay, this is a strong bullish pattern because we should have gone down. So what I usually do, I use this candle as an order block. Okay, this candle, I use it as an order block because the movement down, rejection above this was supposed to go lower. The fact that they came back above it means they accumulated longs in here, inside the wick, and then went back up. So the fair value gap that is left within it, so what you will do is you're gonna highlight the wick from the high to the closing price, that wick in here. You're gonna highlight that and then find a fair value gap within that zone, this zone here. So what I mean by is you're gonna find a fair value gap within this high to here. Right, you're gonna find a fair value gap in that. That's your retracement level. Next time price is coming down, that's exactly where it's gonna come to. So if we can sustain, because ultimately this candle has not closed yet, so it can still reject and come back down. But if this day today can close above it like this, this will confirm this as a strong level for if in future price comes back, we're gonna continue going higher. All right, so with that, I think Bitcoin is going to trade to 10278.57. Okay, 10278.57. That is the next upside objective, with this candle closing and potentially the weekly candle also closing like that. that will be the draw on liquidity, or that's where price wants to reach for, right? So you look for continuation to the upside. It can come in the form of maybe a reaccumulation where they will drop one more time before resuming going higher. If that happens, that's no problem. Just drop down and then find, like for example, this H4 down candle. Place your stop loss below that and then look for continuation to the upside. Solana, that means Solana is also gonna go for the previous week high, and that will give you the same narrative. That candle will become an auto block for a continuation to the upside, and it's a good thing because that's a sign of reaccumulation. Now, usually when a market maker buy model is unfolding, when a market maker buy model or sell model is unfolding, the big initial push, right, and then the first down candle that forms is what confirms that this market is now being under a buy, or the market makers are buying it. And the down candle after the close, or the close after the down candle, is what confirms that price is going to continue going up. So I like it. That is what I wanted this to do, to create a down candle and then we come back above it, because that down candle can act, or not can, will act as a support. Yeah I get confused. Support. The down candle will act as a, like a, it will support price to continue going up. Okay, so same thing with Solana. This one will be a good down candle that will support price to continue going up. Anyway, okay, so this week candle closer is crucial. Yeah, it's crucial that we close. We have got a couple of days to go. I think we still have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 days to go. So, fingers crossed it can close above, and then we can look for continuation to the upside. If we close above, then they might be reaching for this equal high, all right, or any gap that resides above it right here. AI, same thing. I think the weekly is giving same vibe as the Bitcoin. Okay, it's looking to go up. So, yay. If we can close above the previous week high, that would be fantastic. Then that will be a reaccumulation, and AI 16Z will be on its way up. Ethereum has surprised me, but I'm not surprised because that's what's supposed to happen. We were looking for the previous month high as the draw on liquidity. And if you remember, as soon as this month ended, that's what we aimed for them to attack that high. Now, with such a big candle, that was necessary because that H4 imbalance was so strong that it needed something extraordinary to break it. And you can see right there, that candle, big one. That's what needed to happen before we can continue going up. Okay, so Let's go and check the dollar for the news event, and then we'll come back after the news event. Okay, so I think the news event is done. It's gone past 3 minutes, and you can see that they're using that gap on the H4 to reaccumulate longs to continue going up. Now, what I would want to see is a break above this high. I'm convinced it's gonna go there, but at least in the next 10 minutes, we want to see this candle sustain, trading through these imbalances, and then either this candle or the next one go all the way up and break it, right? And then we'll be way on our way to 100.37. Now euro did tap into that gap on the 1 hour, okay, and it's rejected so far. On the 5 minutes chart, it's looking very nice. So a break below that, then we are way down here. Okay, so let's see. And that's the game plan for this afternoon. So fingers crossed. Okay, let's go back to the cryptocurrencies. So Ethereum, if we can sustain this high, sustain above that high, because that's a monthly high, that will send, you know, a strong bullish signal, but not so much bullish because, like I mentioned, I still suspect these lows. So we might maybe aim for the next high, which is there, 2107, and then we'll take it one day at a time. So just be mindful that price needs to stay and sustain this high, then we can look for the next high. If you don't sustain it and it start rejecting, this is not just a random high, this is a monthly high, so it might mean something when it's rejecting. Hype, that is the direction we want to go. I think the next upside objective is 22.298. So look for continuation to the upside. XRP rejecting the previous week low, so we'll be expecting previous week high as the next objective. I like the fact that they've broken this auto block, this up candle prior to this move down, and it's now leaving imbalances on the downside, so we'll be expecting a continuation to the upside. I think it will draw into this, it will draw into that, and then the previous week high. When I say this, 2.2587, and then 2.2826, then the high. Okay, that's all. We're looking like we want to come back up. It failed to take out the low, which I'm not a big fan of, because that's not supposed to happen. Let's go on the daily and see. Okay, so watch the daily candle. If the daily can sustain a close above previous day's high, then that might be meaningful. Yet still, I still suspect that low. I'm not really convinced with that low being left. Okay, so if you're trading Tatuo, be very mindful. And then finally Chachki, we eventually took out that low, and now we are rejecting. Maybe now we might start going up if today's candle. Let me teach something. This is not mine, okay? This is something one of my students actually discovered, and he shared it with me. And I backtested it. It looks great, so I'm gonna share it with you, and you can use it if you want to on H4 daily, weekly, monthly. Okay, H4 daily, weekly, monthly. Whenever price takes out a low or takes out a high on the H4, on the daily, on the monthly, on the weekly, when it does that, all right, pay attention to the very first candle that forms. if the first candle that forms is an up candle with a wick rejecting the low. What do I mean? So this is how it looks like. We've just gone below a low. If price is shaping to come back up, definitely this will print down candles, right? It will be printing down candles. If the first candle that starts the rejection is an up candle with a wick like this, okay, if it's an up candle with a wick like this is a great sign of a reversal that price is going to come back up. Okay, it's a very great sign of reversal that price is going to come back up. So after this candle forms, the next candle you want to anticipate higher prices, then higher prices, and then higher prices. If this is a bearish drop, if we took out a high before dropping, anticipate price going to OTE. If we did not take out a high, then this could be the reversal, and then price will break and go higher. Okay, the same way, if we go above a high, the reverse is true. If you go above a high like this, and we have up candle, up candle, up candle, up candle, then the first down candle is a wick. When I say it's a wick, it takes out the up candle's high and rejects and close as a down candle. Sell the next one because it's likely going to trade to OTE and probably take out this low. Right? It's a very powerful pattern. One of my students was back testing, and then that's what he saw. He brought my attention to it, and I back tested it as well. So yesterday I actually used it. Let me go to crude oil and go to the H4. So crude oil, as you can see, we traded above this high, and then the first candle was the down candle rejecting the previous candle's low, previous candle's high. So all I did was sell short that one, and then down, down, down into this level. Okay, let me show you an example of the buy, that like this one here. Okay, when we are below the low and we get the candle reject with a wick, previous candle's low, you want to buy it. It's going to come to OT or even reverse. All right, that is what I think is happening over here. So I'm only saying it because I saw an example potentially happening here. So you can use that as a practice and then see if you can get something out of it. And I was seeing same thing on the which pair was it? Here, Ethereum. Okay, we rejected that low with this up candles wick, and then we go up. It's a powerful pattern if you can spot it. It's up to you to spot it first, or the ability to spot it, right? That one. Okay, and then when it's reversing, the upside too is the same thing. If we reject with a down candle rejecting previous wick high, the previous wick, the previous candle, it takes out and then it starts rejecting. That's also something that you can use to sell short. Okay, so that is that. Hopefully, you know, as usual, you got something out of this session. And yeah, I will see you same time tomorrow, Friday, and then we will see what the market will provide for us. Until then, have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care.